The opening sequence of past lives introduces its themes and central mystery right away. The film's title has a space on the screen between past and lives, obviously connected yet separate. The first scene plays into this theme of space. 3 people are sitting in a bar with anonymous people from across the bar, perhaps representing the audience of the movie, audibly wondering what exactly the relationship is between these people. The woman in the middle seems to be almost entirely focused on the man to our left, but there's a large space between them. Connected, yet separate. The man on the right is closer to the woman in space, yet looks the most uncomfortable of the 3. So what is the connection between these 3 people?
I have no idea.
Flashback to 24 years earlier, and it turns out that our main characters, Na Young and Hae Sung, are a little bit more than childhood friends. Alas, it only lasts for one fleeting date before Na Young's family decides to pack up and move to America. Although it certainly wasn't her decision, Na Young seems to embrace the move, ready to leave the past behind and take on new challenges. Hae Sung, on the other hand, seems to be quietly crushed.
잘 가라.
In this flashback, we begin to unpack some of the larger themes of the movie. Shots of Hae Sung walking away from Na Young, or the reverse, foreshadow the ending of the film. There will not be a romantically cathartic reunion at the end of the film, followed by a happily ever after. A lot of the scenes in the early part of the movie involve the 2 kids walking, moving together with the arrow of time towards a future together, until they aren't together. Specifically, they are often walking upstairs. There's a tension here between climbing the stairs of life, always trying to move up the social ladder or the status ladder, achieving things, distinguishing yourself, ambition, all of this represented by Na Young. She says, no Korean wins the Nobel Prize for literature. This ambitious ethos is in tension with the idea of roots, nostalgia, and memory of the past, things as they were, not things as they could be. This nostalgic ethos is represented by Hae Sung. There is something here about the power of nostalgia. Nostalgia is like a wave that is big and beautiful. Riding it can be the joy of a lifetime, but on the flip side, it can be dangerous and ultimately swallow and destroy you. Nostalgia also presents a philosophical question of sorts. Why leave anything behind? Why not live in the past forever? Na Young and Hae Sung's answers to these questions determine the course of their lives. 12 years later, modern technology allows a digital pseudo-relationship to begin. As they reconnect over video chats, we see some beautiful shots of the respective skylines of New York and Seoul, half a world apart. One will always be night, while the other will always be day. Na Young has become Nora. This hints at a theme of identity explored throughout the movie. Na Young, or Nora, has a dual identity. On the one hand, she pines for her past in Korea. On the other hand, she has an ambition to build something new for herself on her own terms in America. This symbolizes the realities and identity challenges that all immigrants to a new land surely face. While Hae Sung doesn't seem to have these dual identities like Nora does, he does represent her connection to the past. And much like the digital nature of their connection, it is wrought with connection issues and long-distance problems. At one point during one of their video chats, the Shakespeare play Macbeth is clearly visible in the background. This is fitting. Macbeth is a play about ambition, In Macbeth's case, he leaves a trail of bodies in his wake on the path towards achieving his political goals. In more personal terms, we all leave a wake behind us in our path towards our imagined destinies. All the possibilities we never realized, the past lives unremembered, the futures snuffed out by decisions made in the present. There's a lot of regret and grief and paranoia in Macbeth, so it's a fitting prop to showcase in a movie like this. Hae-sung points out Nora's ambition at one point, and there's a sense that it may become one of those connection problems we mentioned earlier. The digital relationship, or whatever it was, lasts a few months or years, with time soldiering on and lives accumulating tasks and jobs and obligations. Some meek offers to visit each other's city amongst the noise of life. And it is noisy. There are a lot of shots of people riding in cars or trains in this movie, perhaps symbolizing the chaotic movement of life or the nature of time to always be moving forward to the next chain of cause and effect. Ultimately, Nora decides to break it off. Hae-sung is suitably crushed again. Hae-sung handles rejection the way any self-respecting man does, by staring at other couples on the train, typing out risky texts but not sending them, and drinking a lot. Nora seems to handle the breakup better with her study abroad program, where she meets her eventual husband, Arthur. There's a moment that feels important during this stretch. Nora gazing into the open window of her future, while the mirror of the past gazes back at her. Is the past a mirror, always gazing back? Nora seems to answer no when she signs her American name on the wall. We are also introduced to the concept of inyan, providence, fate, the deeper meaning behind coincidence, the thin strands of connection built up over eons that ultimately glue us all together, especially in regards to a singular relationship. Perhaps any current relationship is the buildup of inyan over many past lives. 12 years later, we finally reach the modern day showcased at the beginning of the movie. Hae-sung finally decides to come to New York City to see Nora, perhaps to say goodbye, but it seems like he's looking for more than closure. Chasing love, perhaps, whatever that ends up looking like. Hae-sung might not even know. Love can be infinite and filling and oceanic, but it can also leave a craterous void when it's gone. That void is portrayed with a certain loneliness in this movie that feels like it gets at something deeply human, an emptiness, the after effects of the great wave of nostalgia crashing on the shore. After the wave hits, the water retreats back into the ocean. This negative energy is called the redound, or the backwash. The way past lives is shot and colored, the music, the symbolism, it gives off this feeling. Nora and Hae-sung are reunited finally, taking a stroll around New York City. They have a discussion about the journey of their lives in front of a merry-go-round, a journey and its inyan that brought them together, yet still keeps them apart. Hae-sung's idealism makes letting go hard. Nora's practicality makes moving on tolerable. Just as the merry-go-round circles round and round, Hae-sung wants to circle back to his childhood and their virtual relationship 12 years ago. For him, time is a cycle, less a linear movement of life from point A to point B, and more a way to conceptualize and contextualize his feelings in 4D space. This is the power of memory and nostalgia. Memory is cyclical, the past, present, and future influencing each other. Nora, on the other hand, has the more practical view of time's linear arrow. it would be an oversight not to acknowledge Arthur's role in all of this. His character allows the movie to subvert many of the romantic drama tropes that have become ingrained in the genre. In a standard rom-com, Arthur is a neglectful or abusive or mean tyrant. Nora leaves with Hae-sung after he professes his love for her, and they live happily ever after. Not so here. Arthur is self-aware and contextually aware of the situation his wife is in. He realizes that he could be viewed as the villain in this incredible story that is unfolding almost entirely outside of his control. He has his flaws and his insecurities like the rest of us, but he allows Nora space because he loves her. The fact that he is genuinely liked by Hae-sung also says a lot. Arthur's character also connects our themes of time and inyan and memory together. He asks Nora, what if you met somebody else? What does destiny or fate really mean? Are we all just replaceable products of being in the right place at the right time?
And I'm wondering if I do the same thing for you.
Despite Arthur not really being a villain here, it's still hard not to root for Hae-sung to get Nora back. It's painful to watch at times the way that he looks at her. After the scene at the bar, there is no grand romantic ending. Sometimes saying goodbye means sharing an embrace, exchanging a nice thought, and then getting in an Uber. Neither side feels great about it. The doors close on possibility. But although the doors seem to be closed in this life at least, Hae-sung leaves open the possibility that this is a past life building towards a future life together. The final shot of the movie brings it all together. What ifs, circumstance, fate, past lives, future lives, all weaving and connecting together at the end.